Welcome to episode 154 of the Hurricane Mike Show, where today we will be recapping the New Orleans Saints 23-3 loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, if you actually watched the game, it was way closer than the score actually was, but you still lost. Whatever. But at least we didn't lose by 24 points to a trash team that let a trash quarterback throw 4 touchdowns on them. Because why did?
Because the Atlanta Falcons really do suck.
Yeah, and even you thought they were going to win.
I know. I'm so mad at myself. I mean, the first time I give Atlanta a chance to win, and Miami just looks, Tua looks like he's back at Alabama, boy, just dropping those dimes in against Georgia, touchdown. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's weird. The 2 times this season that you've picked Atlanta to win, they've got blown out. Because you also thought they were going to beat Carolina a few weeks ago.
Maybe I need to keep picking them to win then.
Maybe. Maybe you need to keep picking Atlanta to win and keep picking the Saints to lose.
Okay, they're losing next week. Rams, y'all got this.
Yeah, because every single time that you pick the Saints to win, we lose, and every time I pick the Saints to win, they lose too. But I also pick Saints to lose as well when they lose those games too. I don't know. We're just broken at this point. It's to the point where this is actually I'm not even mad anymore. I'm disappointed, but I'm not even mad anymore. Anyways, let's dive into this game. Dad, what was the main thing for this one?
The main thing is, for most of this game, Kellen Moore coached he doesn't even realize that coaches have got fired after year 1. I mean, I'm really thinking he doesn't. He thinks he has 1 year to screw up really bad. They're not gonna do anything. What they gonna do? Fire me? Yes, they can fire you. But I mean,
You're not going to.
Maybe not the Saints organization, because we all kind of gutless up there in those offices.
But we let Dennis Allen stay here for more than 2 years.
Who's that?
Dennis Allen. We let Dennis Allen stay here till his 3rd year. So we don't fire coaches after year 1.
But you see other coaches from other places in the country, getting off the starts like this and be like, nah, we're good. We're gonna go someplace else and get a coach.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing is the offense, man. The defense, I can't even be mad at the defense. Yeah, were they perfect? No. But they gave up 1 touchdown the whole time. You can't be mad at the defense. Even though the defense did play poorly for most of the game. They are the only reason you had a chance. The scoreboard says 23-3, but there was countless times where the Saints could have took this one over. I mean, at halftime, the score was 7-3. You're telling me you could only score 3 points in the first half? And guess what? The Buccaneers offense didn't score in the first half, and yet you were still losing.
The defense is playing his butts off in the first half. I mean, those goal line stands.
Exactly.
Kool-Aid McKinstry, they tried him twice. And he batted both of them down. I mean, he should have had an interception on one of them. But they was like, man, Kool-Aid's guarding him. We got this touchdown. No, Kool-Aid shut that down quick.
Yeah. But now let's get into this game. First quarter was scoreless. Second quarter, Buccaneers won 7-3, like I mentioned. Third quarter, Buccaneers won 10-0. Fourth quarter, Buccaneers won 6-0. And the Buccaneers won 23-3. The Saints gave up 1 offensive touchdown the entire game. Let's go over the scoring summary if you don't believe me. So with 6:41 left in the second quarter, Spencer Rattler throws a pick 6 to Anthony Nelson for a 3-yard touchdown, basically. And then it was also legal formation on Kelvin Banks, so it really didn't matter. But look, I understand Rattler was facing pressure, but you're telling me you couldn't throw the ball over him? Look, Rattler, I tried. Wait, hold on. Hold on, guys. I think I just got some breaking news. Hold on. We have to pause the show. Hold on. This might be... Hold on. This might be some great news. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. Team making coaching change. I'm trying to see where I can actually find this. Well, guys, I don't think it's official yet, but LSU is discussing on firing Brian Kelly. That's what I just got. That they are dismissing him. I don't know if that means that they're firing him, but it sounds like he might
Dismissing
be.
means fired. Yes.
Oh, so that's what that means?
Dismissing means we're dismissing you. You can, like they dismiss you from school, you can go home. You don't have to stay here, but you have to go home.
Let's go! I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
That boy there going crazy. Who that? We might be those 1980 Saints that went 1-15. We might go 1-16. I don't see it with another game. Hurricane Michael don't want to hear this, but we're not winning another game. Sorry.
I'm back. I'm back. So hold up. Let me put this up. So let me put this up real quick.
Breaking news.
Breaking news out of LSU. They're dismissing Brian Kelly.
Who's going to be the interim coach?
I don't know. But look, honestly, I ain't gonna lie. As much as I wanted him, I gave Brian Kelly a lot of headaches. I ain't gonna lie. I do think he is a good coach. I'll give him that. But he's not a great coach. And LSU, the LSU program, we demand greatness. Okay, like Brian Kelly for Florida, he'll probably be a good. He'll probably get Florida right. I'll say that.
You know where he's going to end up. You know where he's going to end up.
Penn State.
I'm making a prediction right now. He's going to go to Penn State, and he's going to be great. You know why? Because you mentioned he is a good coach. But when he goes to Penn State, it's not going to be the SEC. The talent is going to be down here, not up here in the SEC. It is different. So that's my prediction. He's going to Penn State, and Penn State's going to be pretty good because of it.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think Penn State's winning the championship if they do hire Brian Kelly. But I think if he does go to Penn State, that's probably the best job he can go to. So let's see. All right, so let's see the coaching candidates, and then we'll get back to the Saints game. Don't worry. Jimbo Fisher, Joe Brady, James Franklin, John Summerall, Brent Key, Nick Saban, Urban Meyer. Is it crazy that I think probably the best option here is James Franklin?
I like Joe Brady. Let's run it back. Let's get some nostalgia in here. I mean, my boy was on the 2019 championship team. Let's run it back. Let's bring him back in here and see if he can help. Nussmeier is about to be out of here, but the next quarterback, see if he can help him like he helped Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. James Franklin, he did bring Penn State close to the national championship. I'm just gonna say that. Now, he would probably be number one on the list, probably.
They'll probably talk to him.
I think James Franklin would be. Is he a great coach? I don't know. He's not really a great coach. Yeah, I don't know. There's not really a coach that I would really desire over here, but obviously you need a coach. And as much as I hate to say it, I would probably choose James Franklin because he's the only one on the list really with playoff experience. So I think if you are to hire someone, it's probably going to be James Franklin, whether you like it or not. I think it will be James Franklin because he got Penn State far, whether you want to admit that or not. He didn't you can't really blame him for this past year as well because his quarterback got hurt and Penn State was playing pretty well. So it's I think I would probably go after James Franklin. That might be controversial, but that's just me though. But anyways, let's get back to the Saints game. Yep, Brian Kelly is gone. Let's see. So it's 7-0. Okay, so then with 1 second left in the second, I know we're all over the place right now. But according to YouTube, nobody's even in the chat. So with 1 second left in the half, Blake Grupe hit a 48-yard field goal to make it 7-3. And then with 10:08 left in the third, Sean Tucker ran up the middle for a 1-yard touchdown to go up 14-3, followed by because then Chase McLaughlin hit the extra point. Then 4:02 left in the third, Chase McLaughlin hit a 55-yard field goal to go up 17-3. Then 14:03 left in the fourth, Chase McLaughlin hit a 52-yard field goal to go up 20-3. And then with 9:26 left in the fourth, Chase McLaughlin hit a 54-yard field goal to go up 23-3. This man hit 3 back-to-back 50-plus yard field goals, and we'll be lucky if we can even hit a 40-yard field goal. Ain't that insane? But yeah. All right, now let's get to this game. Well, we kind of already did. All right, let's talk about the Saints, man. Tyler Shuck came in for our bench Spencer Rattler. Tyler Shuck was 17 for 30, 128 yards, 1 interception. Spencer Rattler, 15 for 21, 136 yards, and 1 interception. Look, if you know ball knowledge, you know that interception Shuck threw was not his fault. Dad, did you see that pick?
I did.
Like, bruh, that was a perfect pass. But this man, Chris Olave, can't hang on nothing.
Tyler Shuck had 2 passes in a row. One of them, the one before that one, should have been a fumble. I mean, it's catch or no catch or whatever. So Shaheed pretty much coughed it up. Then next play, Olave did cough it up. So I mean, those are our receiver 1 and 2. I mean, if we can't make plays with these 2 guys, I mean, we have no shot. I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah, well, look, the trade deadline, I think, is next week after the next slate of games. You got to go out and trade for a receiver. Trade for a receiver where it's like trade for like a Jerry Jeudy or someone like that. Like,
I was telling somebody today, trade deadline, we need to have a fire sale. I mean, there's some players that are untouchable. The Fuagas and the Banks, our cornerstone players. But, I mean, some of these older players, I mean, we need to just sell them off, get us about 10 to 12 good draft picks. I'm going to say good draft picks, 4 or 5 round picks, and just build up our young nucleus of a team. That's my idea. I mean, we ain't going to no playoffs this year. Next year, whatever. Fire sale, get some draft picks, build for the future. That's my 2 cents, Mickey Loomis.
But my thing is, and I ain't gonna lie, during the game I actually agreed with pulling Rattler because the offense wasn't doing good regardless. Like, you might as well see what you have in Shuck, because I mean you used the 40th overall pick for him for a reason. And is it just me, or I never want the Saints to have the 40th overall pick again? Never. That number is cursed. The last pick we had that was 40th overall was Isaiah Foskey. He's not even on the team right now. And the other guy is Tyler Shuck. Now Shuck is TBD. But my thing is, we better not use Tyler Shuck as no scapegoat. Because what are you supposed to do when your number 1 receiver can't hang on to nothing? Like, what do you want Tyler Shuck to do? Do you want him to catch the ball? It's like, Tyler Shuck say, what? There's a lot of wide open, perfect pass. He couldn't have threw it better if he wanted to. But this man, Chris Olave, had the ball, and he didn't even drop it. That's the thing. He didn't even drop it. The guy just took it from him. Like, are you that weak? That man literally took it from him. Like, their number 1 rule in football is to be a good football player. So why are you not a good football player? This man dropped it into being a pick. It's like, bruh, I don't even think that could happen on Madden. Like, Chris. Anyway, so how do you think the 2 quarterbacks played today?
Well, Rattler had to get benched. I mean, I told somebody at halftime, I'm like, they're coming out with a new quarterback in the 3rd quarter. And so I was surprised to see Rattler, start the 3rd quarter. I thought they made the decision already. I mean, you can't turn the ball over. Like Jonathan Vilma was saying during the game, these coaches put a premium on not turning the ball over. And you turn the ball over, you're going to get benched. So I thought Tyler Shuck was going to come out in the third quarter. But they waited for a drive to see if, I guess, Rattler could do anything on the first drive. And if not, they pulled him. And the first drive was a disaster. So, yeah, they pulled him. And then Tyler Shuck came in. And, he had some good, some brief glimpses there. But, I mean, you probably got, just a handful of reps in practice. So, your timing was off. So, he really looked like he was in sync a lot of the times with the receivers. But I do like I said in preseason, I do like his body language. It looks like he's not rattled, pun intended.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see what goes on in the future. If they go back to Rattler for the next game, and, so if they go back to Rattler, it might be sending a message. It'd be like, look, if you turn the ball over, we're going to pull you. So maybe that lights a fire under him, and he's a better quarterback here on out. We'll see.
Yeah, look, I think they're just going to probably play Shuck the rest of the year unless Shuck gives you a reason. Like, I was even saying this when Rattler was playing. You play Rattler till Rattler gives you a reason not to play him. And Rattler, for the most part, I still think he did some solid things when he started. But it got to a point where you just, you didn't really have a reason to bench him, but you also didn't have a reason to start him. It's like the offense is installing. But to be fair, you can't put a quarterback on this team and expect him to be great. Tyler Shuck is not going to come on this team and have you winning football games. It's not going to happen. And if you expect it to happen, you're either two things: delusional, or you are just a deep Saints fan. Because there is no way that could happen. Because you could even put prime Patrick Mahomes, you could put prime Dan Marino, prime Tom Brady, prime Joe Montana on this team, and the offense still would suck. You know why? The quarterback can control when the receivers decide to catch the ball or not.
My evaluation of Rattler, pretty much halfway point in the season, is he's good when you're in the short to intermediate routes. I mean, he's accurate, he's on time. But when you go to, attacking the defense, pushing the ball downfield, he makes mistakes and he turns the ball over. So
yeah,
he's got to work on that.
He's turned the ball over 5 times the past 2 weeks. You can't win with that. Okay? I was saying that I didn't want Shuck to play, not because I didn't like Shuck, but because I thought you could build around Rattler, but it's got to a point where you just couldn't. And that's not really all Rattler's fault. I'm not sitting up here blaming anybody. But it gets to a point, you're 1-7. You have nothing to lose at this point. You have nothing to lose. What you gonna lose? What you gonna lose? Your 8th game? Oh, big whoop. Okay. I mean, is this 1980? It's yeah. I think Chuck probably had the better day today.
Do you remember what happened in 1980?
I do.
What happened?
Saints won one single game, and one of them was to the Jets.
1-15.
I don't think they played 16 games that year. That was way before the 16 games.
No, I think they were 1-15. In fact, I looked it up right before the show when I was prepping. Yep, 1-15, and they was 4th in the NFC West. Yes, I said NFC West. And 4th, that also meant last. They only had 4 teams in the NFC West.
Yeah. Let's talk about the running game, or lack thereof. Alvin Kamara, 6 carries for 21 yards, 3.5 yards carry. Why are you running the ball 6 times with your number 1 running back? That makes no sense. Tyler Shuck, 3 carries for 12 yards, 4 yards a carry. Spencer Rattler, 3 carries, 12 yards, 4 yards a carry, and also had a brutal fumble. Taysom Hill, 2 carries, 6 yards, 3 yards a carry. One of them, he was in the backfield, so that's whatever. And Chris Olave had 1 carry for -3 yards, -3 yards a carry. Now, that play, I will say, was not on Olave. That was just Rashid Shaheed giving up on his block. I don't know if you remember that play. It was, I think, either the first or second drive. Shaheed just completely gave up on the block, which allowed him to get swarmed. So, how do you feel about this? There's only one answer, that I will accept today. But how do you feel about this running attack, if you even want to call it that?
Well, the stat sheet says we only ran the ball 15 times. Really, it's only 14 because one of them was to Chris Olave, which was a pass behind the line of scrimmage. That counts as a run. So it's really 14 times we ran the ball today. And we passed the ball 51 times. I mean, we've done this all year. If you don't even have to see the score of the game. Just how many times you pass, how many times you run. That's the team that won the game. So, So, and another thing that it's kind of funny looking at the stat sheet. The longest run we had in this game was 7 yards by Spencer Rattler. I mean, that's pathetic, bro. That is pitiful. And Kellen Moore was supposed to be this. He had Saquon Barkley. I mean, they were doing all this stuff, being very imaginative on offense. Where's that imagination at? He left it in Philadelphia. He better go back and get it.
Yeah, look, like I said, I'm giving Kellen Moore the benefit of the doubt. Like, we still don't have an offense, okay? Like, if you look at the Eagles' offense and the Saints' offense, they're not even comparable. All right? So, but with that being said, that does not mean he's safe. That's exactly what that means. He is safe. The Saints, we let Dennis Allen stay here to enjoy life. So, bro, and he's safe. But yeah, the running game, like, I understand Kendrick Miller's out for the season, but apparently Audrey Estimé was active. You didn't give him a single run. Why did Devin Neal not get a single carry today? This man was doing a good job blocking, but he's a running back. But to be honest, he'll probably be a better offensive guard than, I don't know, Trevor Penning. It's like this man gets a penalty every time. Like, there was one driver who got 3 penalties back to back to back. Like, brother, when the only time you can block good is when you're committing a penalty, like a holding or a fault or a illegal motion, what are we supposed to do with that? And you got Mickey Loomis, when we declined your 5th-year option, being like, well, we still expect him to be a part of the team long term. No, you don't. You just said that so it didn't make you look stupid when you took him in the 1st round. Whatever. Let's talk about receiving. Rashid Shaheed, 9 receptions for 75 yards, 8.3 yards a reception. Chris Olave, 8 for 63, 7.9 yards a reception. Juwan Johnson, I'm going to get to you when I'm done. Juwan Johnson, 5 catches for 53 yards, 10.6 yards a catch. Alvin Kamara got 2 catches for 24 yards, 12 yards a catch. Brandon Cooks actually caught more than 1 pass. MVP. Best receiver on the planet, boy. He caught more than his 1 pass, man. Good job, Brandon Cooks, man. And you're going to be Super Bowl MVP this year because you caught more than 1 pass. Get out of here. Brandon Cooks, 3 receptions for 22 yards, 7.3 yards a catch. Devin Neal, 3 catches for 11 yards, 3.7 yards a catch. And one of those catches, I literally don't understand why we called it in that situation. It's 3rd and 8, and we're going to call a freaking we're just going to do a dump off to freaking Devin Neal? What, you expect him to break every single tackle like he's a cracked out Derrick Henry on the Titans? What, you expect him to just run through everybody? What, you expect him to just maul his way into the end zone? Like what was that play call? Especially when there's guys in front of him. If he was open and you don't see anybody near him, okay, I could maybe understand it. But there's like 2 or 3 guys there. Like, what, you think this man's just gonna jump super high and land for a first down? Come on, we didn't draft him to be Jesus. But whatever. Devon Vele had 1 catch for 10 yards, 10 yards catch. He's the new Mr. 1 catch a game. Taysom Hill had 1 catch for 6 yards, 6 yards catch. So, we had 8 different people catch a pass today. And we still couldn't get into the end zone. So, how do you feel about these receivers?
Well, Rashid Shaheed, I mean, that's probably his worst game I've seen him play in a while. I mean, he's putting the ball on the ground. He's fumbling the ball. He did limp off with a little injury, so we have to see if he's all right. I don't know if he came back into the game, but
he didn't.
okay, 9 receptions. You think that's that's a great game. That's 9 catches, but I look at those numbers like for Shaheed, like what did he average? 8.3, not enough. He's got to be over 10 a catch. I mean, he's a deep threat. I mean, his long today was 10. That's not getting it done. I mean, I know you tried one. Chuck overthrew him on that one on the right sideline, but other than that, I mean, Kellen Moore, you're the play caller. You passed the ball 51 times today, and you can't get it to Chuck. I mean, get it to Shaheed down the field. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't. I guess they're gonna work it out. I guess he's working on something. I don't know. Hope so.
Yeah, look, I got something to say to the top three. Shaheed, you can't be fumbling the ball, bro. Like, he really should have had 2 fumbles. But the second fumble, they call it incomplete for whatever reason. Chris Olave, you can't be giving out Christmas presents in October. Like, this man caught the ball and then it got intercepted on the same play. It made, bro, when you catch the ball, you expect to get yards. But when you don't expect the guy to catch the ball and yet end up for the other team. Like, how do you catch a ball and get intercepted at the same freaking time on the same exact play? And Juwan Johnson, I say this every time. We paid you $30 million to drop the ball. This man had 2 drops that I counted in the third quarter. One of them was in the third, one of them was in the fourth. Like, this man is trash. We paid you $30 million and you stop giving a crap. Like, what? Did your wife get to your head? If you don't know, he has a freaking wife on social media that keeps saying, when you, like, POV, when you divorce her, or when you threaten to divorce your husband, then he scores a touchdown. POV, when you, whatever. Good God. Connor says LSU fired Brian Kelly. That they did. And, we actually talked about that earlier because it actually broke while we went live. So, yeah. Yay. But, man, Brandon Cooks, though. Whew, man, he's the best receiver of all time. You know why, Dad? Because he caught more than 1 pass today. I never thought I'll ever see the day where he does that. Trash. But, yeah, these receivers, I don't know off the top of my head how much money they make in combined, but they have to be at least making at least $50 million combined, bro. It's like maybe even 60. Like, I don't understand this team, bro. It's like, where do y'all find these receivers? Let's talk about this defense, who actually didn't even do that bad today. Were they perfect? No. But they only gave up a single touchdown, and that one touchdown was on the 4th and goal at the 1-yard line. Your defense is the only reason y'all had it. Like, I understand the score says 23-3, but the Saints had a chance literally like 3 quarters of the game. They had a chance to win if they would just score points. Justin Reed, 4 tackles, 3 assists, half a sack. Demario Davis, 4 tackles, 7 assists. Jonas Anchor, 3 tackles, 1 assist. Kool-Aid McKinstry, 3 tackles, 1 assist. Should have had a pick in the end zone, but we can't ever get things the right way. Jordan Howden had 2 tackles. Alante Taylor had 2 tackles, and then also got hurt late in the game. Hope he's all right. Quincy Riley had 2 tackles. Devon Godchow, 2 tackles, 4 assists. Chris Rumpf II had 2 tackles, 2 assists. Isaiah Stallbird, 1 tackle, 1 assist. Nathan Shepard had 1 tackle, 2 assists, and a sack. Pete Werner, 1 tackle, 3 assists. Terrell Burgess, 1 tackle. Chase Young had 1 tackle, 3 assists, and 1.5 sacks, and also forced a fumble and recovered the fumble on the same play, so that's nice. Jonathan Bullard had 1 tackle and 1 assist. Cameron Jordan, 1 assist. Carl Granderson, 1 assist. John Ridgway III, 1 assist, and Brian Brzee, 1 assist. And honestly, Brian Brzee should have had a batted pass, but, it just went right through his fingertips into a reception. So, how do you feel the defense did today?
Defense did pretty well. I mean, we talked about the goal line stand earlier, and Kool-Aid making those 2 pass defenses in the end zone was pretty nice. But overall, I mean, against the rush, it was pretty good. I mean, held them to 3.0 yards a carry. That's getting it done. I mean, I don't care who you're playing, even though they had their number 1 running back not playing in this game today. So yeah, they had one rush for 15 yards. That was that long. But other than that, no more rushes over 9 yards. So let's get it done. They didn't give up the big play on the ground. I mean, through the air. I mean, they did give up a cut. There was one like the Taz Johnson that was a busted coverage on third down. Other than that, Baker Mayfield just played all right. I mean, he wasn't nothing special today. His
Yeah,
his numbers wasn't too great. I think we got to him. We sacked him a few times. So all in all, this is probably one of our best defensive performances of the year.
probably. Like I understand they gave up. Well, the score is 23-3, but they didn't. The defense didn't give up all 23 of those points.
Mm-hmm.
Covered that. I know we were talking about this earlier, and I know this is a Saints podcast, but hey, it's my show. I get to do whatever I want, right? You know what Brian Kelly said when he left Notre Dame to go to LSU?
What he said?
He said, "I want to leave Notre Dame," or he said, "I want to be in an environment where I have the resources to win a national championship." That didn't like. I'm stunned after you said that. Like, don't get me wrong. At the time, I was like, "Okay, bet," but you couldn't even make the playoffs in 4 years, bro. I am surprised that they fired him before the Bama game, though. I'm not gonna lie, because now you're going into Tuscaloosa with an interim head coach, um, facing against a top 5 team in the country. Bro, if LSU somehow beats Bama, bro, with no head coach, because also I don't know if you know or not, but apparently, rival wins are more important than national championships in college. Apparently, that's like the thing now. So, but yeah, look. Anyways, back to this. I just wanted to point that out. The defense, man. Look, they could be so good if they didn't shoot themselves in the foot over and over and over. Like there's like 2 times where they committed a penalty on a third down. Like you can't be doing that. And it's like they made 4 straight stops at the 1 yard line. But guess what? All of that goes away. You know why? Because the Saints lost. I even said it on my live stream earlier. It doesn't matter how much time you stop them at the 1 yard line. And they almost did it twice. I don't know if you remember, but on one of the touchdowns Tampa Bay got, we stopped them 3 straight times at the 1 yard line again. But then they just snuck it in on that 4th down. So we almost stopped them at the 1 yard line 4 straight times twice. But the defense, though, it has to be better still. Like, don't get me wrong, this week was an improvement. But I'm pretty sure we're going to LA next week. That game might be on the road. I think it might. I think it is. I don't know. But even if it's at home, the defense has to show out. Brandon Staley, you're coaching against the team that you used to defensive coordinate. So you have the entire week to get your ish together. All right. Let's talk about the special teams, if you even want to call them special. Devin Neal, 5 kick returns for 106 yards, 21.2 yards a return. Mason Tipton had 1 kick return for 36 yards a return. Rashid Shaheed had 1 punt return for 8 yards a return. Blake Groupie was 1 for 1 today, 100%, as long as it was the 48-yard field goal before half, and got 3 points. The only point the Saints scored today. And Kai Kroger punted the ball, had 3 punts for 121 yards, 40.3 yards a punt, and 2 inside the 20. So how you feel about this not special teams unit? Well, before you answer that, Kai's in the chat. What's up, bro? Said, what's good, fellas? This season is washed. It's time to tear this team down brick by brick and start from scratch. Yeah, we were just talking about that too. Look, the score was 23-3. But if you watched the game, which I'm assuming you did, and this isn't a shot at you, this is a shot to anybody saying our defense was terrible. Bruh, we literally had every opportunity to win this game. This should have not been 23-3. You know the amount of times the Saints do, and the Saints have done this for as long as I can remember, where they'll do like one explosive play every drive, where they get to opponent's territory, and then they end up having the punt. which makes no sense. But anyways, so how do you feel about the not special teams unit? I refuse to call them what they're not. So how do you feel about this not special teams unit?
Well, like you said, it was not special today, and I feel sorry if anybody has Blake Groupie as their fantasy kicker because
Why would you do that?
he didn't get a chance at an extra point today, and usually that's you can count on that as on your fantasy team getting some extra points to boost your score. But no, not if you had Blake Groupie today. I mean, you got one field goal, you got 3 points, but no extra points.
Yeah. Our defense did their job today. The defense put our offense in good field position, but they couldn't capitalize. That's what I'm saying. Look, I tried to defend Rattler, but today I just couldn't do it. It's like, and I'm not saying Rattler was bad. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. Y'all, for those that have watched me for a while, you know my stance on the situation. But at this point, you have to put in Tyler Shuck. You just can't deny it no more. You have to put in Shuck. You just have to. Because, like, what do you have to lose? What, you're going to lose your 8th game? What do you have to lose? You're 1-7. Your season's, you have a 1.9% chance to make the playoffs. Like, what?
Got to see what you got in Shuck to see what, like my boy Kai is saying, we're going to tear it down and build it up next year. We have to see if we have a quarterback to build with. If we don't, well, we have to know that so we can, include that into the equation.
Yeah, and I already know what's going to happen. They're probably going to use the freaking scapegoat. They're probably going to use Tyler Shuck to be the scapegoat. I swear, bro. This is not going to happen. But if the Saints fire Kellen Moore after year 1, they're not going to do it because we had Dennis Allen for 3 years. But you know how painful this would be, okay? Like, you probably couldn't script it worse. If the Saints, for some odd reason, fire Kellen Moore after this year, and then their dumb selves decide to hire Brian Kelly from college, I would literally stab myself with a pen because I am not. I would rather go in a coma than watch that. I would rather be dead.
I think Kellen Moore's safe for this year, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if they go 1-16, if they made a move, but I don't expect them to. But I wouldn't be shocked.
Like, bro, like if y'all didn't hear, LSU fired Brian Kelly today. They actually fired him when we went live. Like they fired him like a couple minutes after we went live, so we broke that down a little bit. But, bro, we better, I swear, if I have to see Brian Kelly, it's literally going to be the same thing if the Saints draft Garrett Nussmeier next year. No. Bro, if the Saints fire Kellen Moore and hire Brian Kelly and draft Garrett Nussmeier, so I got to watch this again? No. No.
Gonna have to watch it for 4 more years. That's what a rookie contract is, 4 years. So
not by choice. But nah. And if they dropped him in the first round, they might do it for 5 years. No. Whatever. Now let's talk about the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield, 15 for 24, 152 yards. They even put Teddy Bridgewater in the game. That was nice seeing him. But I wish it was under different circumstances. So how do you feel about Baker Mayfield's performance today?
Baker didn't do too well. I mean, he looked shaky. We got to him with that pass rush, and we got him on the ground 3 times, I believe. And yeah, so he didn't look too well. I mean, he benefited from the Saints not playing offense today. I mean, his defense did score more than the Saints offense scored today. So that's always helps the quarterback out, doesn't it?
Bro, the Buccaneers, the Saints scored as many touchdowns for the Buccaneers as the Buccaneers did. It's like, if you take away that touchdown, we only lose 16-3, which is still bad. Like, and John, I think it was John, he was in my chat earlier. He was saying, maybe this, I remember calling the pick 6 too. I was like, because we brought up maybe the Saints could score a 99-yard touchdown, and I literally said on the stream, watch. Now that I said that, watch them throw a pick 6 on like the first play. And lo and behold, they threw a freaking pick six.
You don't say that, man. Don't ever say that again.
I didn't think it was actually going to happen. But, bro, I'm like, I didn't even realize that at the time when that happened, but I'm like, did I accidentally manifest the pick six against my own thing? But it's weird. Because I could be like, let's go score a touchdown. They don't want to do it. But then I said, watch us throw a pick six. And then that's when they want to do it. So I didn't think nothing of it. Because I'm like, it's probably not going to work because it never works for me. I'm like, brethren Christ.
Rookie mistake, bro. Rookie mistake. Sorry.
He's not a rookie.
Talking about you. You're a rookie.
I'm not a rookie.
Rookie mistake.
It's the second year doing this bull crap, man. Being a Saints fan is, bro, at this point, I'm just laughing at my own pain, bro. But yeah, Baker Mayfield, he didn't do too much, but he didn't need to do too much when you're playing against the Saints offense, man. But playing against the Saints is like it's like hiring a maid. It's like you just watch her do all the work. You literally, like the Buccaneers could have probably scored 0 points on offense. And guess what? They would have still won because they got a pick six. The Buccaneers could have scored 0 touchdowns and 0 field goals on the offensive side of the ball. And they still would have won today. Because the Saints got 3 points. The Saints had more turnovers today than they had points. It's all about the running game, the thing that they actually had. Sean Tucker, 12 carries for 42 yards, 3.5 yards a carry, and a touchdown. They didn't really have too much of a running game, but it was just better than ours. Rashad White, 13 carries for 35 yards, 2.7 yards a carry, and Josh Williams, 4 carries for 11 yards, 2.8 yards a carry. So how do you feel about the Buccaneers running game?
Well, like I said earlier, I think our defense shut their running game down for the most part, but at least they tried to run the ball. I mean, 24 passes, 29 rushes, and we've seen it all year long. That's the formula to win these ball games. That even if you're only rushing for 3 yards a pop, at least you're doing it. At least you're not giving the defensive ends, 51 times to just tee off on your quarterback. So I mean that's a big deal, and so 29 times, good coaching there.
Yeah, I mean, the Saints, it's whatever at this point. It's like, I mean, their run defense has never really been the issue. I mean, there's only really been like one game where the run defense fell apart, and that was against the Chicago Bears, which was last week. Other than that, the defense has been mostly solid when it came to the run game. And to be honest, the Saints almost lost to the Giants, man. But we could be sitting here 0-8 right now. But, I mean, the Jets won today, so I guess flukes happen. By the way, remember when you thought I was crazy for picking the Jets to win this week?
Yes. I know. I don't know the record yet, but I think I've lost quite a few games this week. Not a good week.
We both did terrible this week. Like, so far I have 4 and you have 5. So yeah, I mean, I'm catching up though. I mean, I think we both picked the Packers. No, you picked. Oh, no, that's mine. Who did you pick? No, you picked Pittsburgh. You picked Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and right now Packers are winning. I'm definitely know. Now I'm definitely glad I did not pick Pittsburgh because do you see the uniforms they are wearing? Oh my God!
Yes, I did. I saw it before I came on the out. I was like looking at my phone and I glanced on the TV. I'm like, they wearing that on Sunday Night Football? Jeez.
They look like mustard.
That was their uniforms back in the '60s, I believe.
So they look like mustard in the '60s. Okay. It was probably cool in the '60s. You know why? Because there's black and white, so you can't really see the uniforms that well. But yeah. Anyways, now let's talk about the Buccaneers receivers. Tej Johnson led the day, 5 receptions for 43 yards, 8.6 yards a pop. Cade Otton, 4 receptions for 40 yards, 10 yards a catch. Emeka Egbuka, 3 receptions for 35 yards, 11.7 yards a catch. Rashad White, 2 receptions for 26 yards, 13 yards a catch. And Sterling Shepard, 1 reception for 8 yards a catch. So how do you feel about the Buccaneers receivers today?
Well, again, just like the running game, they didn't do a whole lot, but they didn't have to do a whole lot. I mean, just enough to keep them honest. But there was no outstanding performances in this group.
Yeah, I just don't. It's like most of this came on third downs, but like Baker Mayfield missed the Mika Buka like twice on open plays. So it's not like the Buccaneers receivers did a whole lot. Like if the Saints defense plays like this next week, we probably can beat the Rams if our offense can score. Like it doesn't matter. You could force 15 turnovers, but if your offense can't score, you still ain't gonna win. You could force every single play to be a turnover, but if you can't score the ball, it ain't gonna matter. Now let's talk about the Buccaneers defense. Jamel Dean, 5 tackles, 1 assist. Levante David, 4 tackles, 6 assists. Servasia Dennis, 4 tackles, 3 assists, and a sack. Jacob Parrish, 4 tackles, 1 assist, and a sack. Also got hurt. Prayers out to him. Tyke Smith, 4 tackles, 4 assists. Antoine Winfield Jr., 4 tackles, 2 assists, and got that Make-A-Wish interception. Zion McCollum, 2 tackles, 4 assists. Anthony Nelson, 2 tackles, 2 assists, and got that interception. That was a pick 6. Elijah Roberts, 2 tackles. Benjamin Morrison, 2 tackles, 1 assist. Deion Jones, 2 tackles. Yes, for the guys that remember that he exists. Vita Vea got 1 assist. Marquise Watts, 1 assist and half a sack. Yaya Diaby, 1 assist. And Logan Hall got 1 assist and half a sack. So how do you feel the Buccaneers defense did against us?
I mean, again, I don't know if it was them playing well or we just played terrible. Because, I mean, that one pick 6, I mean, Rattler pretty much handed them to him, say, "Here, go score." But yeah, they didn't do too much other than Nelson. He got 2 sacks. That's good for him. But yeah, I mean they shut us down 3 points, so I guess they handled their business. And we were a little off, but they were on their game.
Yeah. However, Dad, do you think we're going to see any trades this week from the Saints before the trade deadline next week?
You don't really see too many trades in the NFL. I mean, I was kind of half serious when I said let's do a fire sale, man. Let's trade all these cats, but they pretty much don't do that anymore. I don't know if it's because of the salaries. Nobody wants to take these salaries on. I don't know. So I guess we're gonna have to wait for the offseason to start this rebuilding project.
I mean, there'll still be like a few trades throughout the season, and then the trade deadline's when all the trades go down. But it's like, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I'm not Mickey Loomis, even though sometimes I wish I was. Well, no, never mind, I don't, because then that means I'll have to be mentally stupid, and I'm not trying to do that. But anyways, Buccaneers special teams. Sean Tucker, 2 kick returns for 50 yards, 25 yards a return. Cameron Johnston had 1 punt return for 8 yards, 8 yards a return. Chase McLaughlin was 3 for 3, 100%, as long as it was a 55-yarder, scored 11 points. The field goals he made, for those that wonder, 52, 55, 54. This man kicked 3 50-plus yard field goals and made them all. Why can't we find a kicker? Why? They got a kicker that could probably make a freaking 60-yarder in his sleep. But yeah, we got a guy where if he tries to kick a 43-yarder, he shanks it. It's like, it makes no sense how you get paid to be a kicker and you, whatever. But hey, Chase McLaughlin takes his job seriously because he only has one job. He ain't got to throw. He ain't got to catch. He ain't got to run. He ain't got to tackle. All he got to do is kick the ball. And he did it. Can't be mad at him for doing his job inside of the Caesars Superdome, unfortunately. I had a friend that went to this game, and I when he told me that, I was like, "Why are you doing that to yourself? Like why? Like why? Why did you pay 10 cents to go to the game, bro? Because of the game. If they charged $1.50 to go to this game, then that's a ripoff. Like, bro, why for a field goal kicking contest? The Saints' entire game plan, field goal. Riley Dixon on punting the ball, 3 punts, 151 yards, 50.3 yards a punt, 1 inside the 20. So how do you feel about the best kicker of all time whenever he plays against the Saints, Chase McLaughlin, and the rest of the special team team?
He definitely has game on today. 3 plus 50-yard plus field goals. I mean, there was a point in the game where I think it was one of our first drives when we got it. I think it was like to the 41, but couldn't make the first down. So we had to punt the ball there. I'm like, if we had a kicker these days, 56, 57-yard field goal, that's easy, right? I mean, that everybody across the league is doing it. I think it would have been like a 57, 58-yard field goal, but everybody in the league is doing it. We didn't even try it. We punted the ball. Yeah, we got them inside the 10-yard line. Big whoop. But, I mean, everybody else would have kicked that field goal. In the dome, inside. Come on now.
I mean, that was the second drive because I don't know if you remember, but this first drive rather fumbled.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I remember saying that, and I'm not going to lie, I was agreeing with Kellen Moore. Don't kick the field goal. Don't kick it. I don't care if you at the 37-yard line. Bruh, the Saints, they don't have it. Like, you see, and that's how bad it is. They don't trust Groupie. They don't trust him. So why is he still on this team? I said the same thing 2 years ago when we played against the Rams, ironically, who were playing on Sunday. I don't know if you remember, but a couple years ago we played against the Rams on a Thursday night. If we win, we're not in the playoffs, but we would have been in the playoffs if we won that game. But I don't know if you remember, but like the first two drives, the Saints had the ball at like the 39, 40-yard line. They punted the ball each and every one of those because they didn't trust Blake Groupie. So why 2 years later is he still the Saints kicker? Why? Why? Because he made all them field goals in preseason? Why? Because you're not allowed to wear number 19 in the preseason? Because they retired that jersey number in the preseason. Pathetic. Let's go over team stats before my head explodes. Saints, 275 total yards. You even outgained the Buccaneers. And you still came away with 3 points. 227 passing yards. You got more passing yards than them. You got 48 rushing yards, though. That's probably why you lost. 3.9 yards per play for the Saints. 17 first downs. 8 for 16 on third. Bro, this is making me confused. 2 for 4 on fourth down. 71 total plays. 5 sacks allowed. 3 punts. 8 penalties for 40 yards. 2 fumbles lost. 2 interceptions thrown. 27 minutes. 4 seconds with the ball. So let me get this straight. Then I'm going to get to the Buccaneers stuff. Let me get this straight. You got more total yards than them. More passing yards than them. More yards per play than them. You got more first downs than them. You converted more third downs than them. You converted an extra fourth down. And you ran more plays. That is 7 major categories you won. And you still lost by 20 points and only scored 3 of them.
That don't even seem real.
That's what I'm saying. Now let's go over the Buccaneers. And remember, whenever I say these, remember the stuff I told you about the Saints and like their stats. Buccaneers had 212 total yards, 124 passing, 88 rushing, 3.8 yards per play. They picked up 14 first downs. They were 3 for 13 on third downs. 1 for 2 on fourth down. Ran 56 total plays. Only allowed 3 sacks. Punted the ball 3 times. Had 4 penalties for 25 yards. 1 fumble loss. And had the ball for 32 minutes, 56 seconds. More yards. More passing yards. More yards per play. More first downs. More third down conversions. More fourth down conversions. And more total plays ran. And yet, you still came away with 3. With 3!
And I got the explanation for all this.
Turnovers.
This is what we said on the pregame show. The turnovers. That's the biggest stat. That's the biggest stat. That's why you lost the game. I mean, it has to be. I mean, you pretty much ran them out the building in every other stat. But you gave them the ball 2 times.
4 times.
One was a touchdown. You just handed it to them. Yeah, step in the end zone, please.
Yeah, and the second one, I don't know if you remember, the second one was a touchdown, but then they overturned it. And honestly, I'm going to say this too. I don't think he was down.
No, I told somebody else. I think that's a fumble. I'm getting tired of this stuff like, what's a catch? What's not a catch? Did he make 1 step or 1.5 steps? Man, let's play some ball. That's a catch. Let's move on. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, They ruled it a fumble, but he scored a touchdown. I don't think the guy that recovered the fumble, I don't think he was down. I mean, he was down.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah, he was down for the moment, but you have to be touched. And I don't think he was touched. But yeah, Saints lose 23-3 in a game where it felt like they lost 50-3. So yeah, how do you or do you have anything else for us?
Nope, I'm good. I'm ready to go eat, dude. I'm ready to go eat.
All right. Well, shout out to Connor and the Nola Chop Podcast 84 for popping in. Dad, where can they find you?
You'll find me on Mic'd Up YouTube page and on Hurricane Michael YouTube page.
Yep. You can always, much love, Kai. You can always find me at Hurricane Mike, Kyle Phelps, and Keeping It Real Food Sports Podcast. Don't forget to like, sub, share, turn the bell until you don't miss another future upload. And Dad, we'll leave them as always with the who dat, and don't be a what?
Don't be a Falcon fan because their defense can make Tua Tagovailoa look like Joe Montana.
Their defense could probably even make Tyler Shuck look like Joe Montana.
Word.
Yep. Who dat?